Hey sis, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about things I would do if I was trying to lose 30 pounds. Now, I want to give you guys a little disclaimer before we jump into this video to always be graceful with yourself and always understand that any type of progress takes time. So you don't want to put a time frame on it. You don't want to say I want to lose this amount of weight in a week or 2 weeks. Just put it in perspective and saying that this is all just about a process, and as long as I'm living a healthier lifestyle, I will see some sort of progress. Okay, so get that through your mind first, and without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So the first thing I would do is I would prioritize my protein earlier on. When I first started my journey, I did not take protein intake serious. I was like, okay, whatever, like I'm just trying to lose weight, so why do I need protein? Because I always thought that protein was what makes you bulky, and that was actually completely far from the truth. Protein helps build muscle, and muscle helps in turn burn fat. So if I'm not eating protein, how am I going to even burn off the fat? And also I thought about it like I'm working out. If I'm not eating protein, I'm not going to have the energy I need to even make it through my day. I'm actually losing energy, and in turn, I'm not going to be losing the fat that I want to lose, okay? So like I said, protein keeps you full for a longer period of time. When you're not eating protein, you're more prone to be snacking throughout the day. So if I'm not eating the type of protein that I need and the protein intake I need to eat, the meals I'm eating are not going to fill me up. So I'm just going to, in turn, snack throughout the day. I'm going to snack on cakes, sugars, and a lot of the times, even if it's not those type of snacks, any type of snacking intake that's in a large surplus is already going to make us gain some type of weight, and it's already going to be some type of unhealthy for us, no matter how healthy those snacks are. If you're snacking all day throughout the day, that is never good. And I used to do that too. I used to not eat throughout the day, and then I would just snack because I was like, I don't have time to make a meal, I don't want to eat a meal. I would just snack, and that was making me gain so much fat, and I wasn't even losing the fat. It was actually building up because it was in turn it was replacing all that with sugar. So I was just consuming sugar all day, every day, okay? So protein also, like I said, helps build lean muscle. So you want to build lean muscle because that's what's going to lean you out. Muscle burns more fat, okay? So we want to build muscle. I'm not saying we're going to be super bulky. No, in order to be bulky, you have to be lifting like super duper heavy. Not even like the heavy that's just heavy. No, the super duper duper heavy. You're not going to get bulky by eating protein, okay? It also helps boost fat loss because, like I said, it's replacing that fat with muscle, so you're going to burn the fat off more. And then I want you guys to start every meal with a protein source, okay? So here are some examples. Chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt, and a protein shake if you're in a rush. So let's say it's breakfast, right? And you don't have time to cook breakfast. You're like, I don't have time to even cook breakfast. You could do a protein shake with maybe a banana or something like that, or whatever, like a protein shake with a fruit. At least something that'll fill you up until lunch, you know what I mean? So that way you're not saying I skipped a meal. I don't want you guys to skip meals, okay? Especially if you're hungry. Try to do 2 to 3 meals a day, but I'm the type of person that's gonna tell you, if you're not hungry, don't force yourself to eat. But if you are hungry, don't in turn try to restrict yourself and not eat, okay? Listen to your body. If you're hungry, eat a meal. And a lot of times you're hungry because you're not putting protein in within your meal. So after we get the protein out the way, I want you guys to start walking more. Now, I used to underestimate walking because I used to be like, I feel like, oh no, if the workout's not high intensity, I'm not going to see results. If I'm not sweating a lot, I'm not going to see results. And I was literally far from the truth with that. And I learned that recently, that walking actually makes a big deal. Once I started walking is when the weight kind of fell off, and also it gave me the type of body I wanted because I did not lose my curves because I'm doing steady pace cardio. So if you can walk outside, walk outside. If you have a walking pad or a treadmill at your house, try to do an incline of like 3 or above, do a speed of 2.5, do that for 30 minutes and walk on that, and that is steady pace cardio. You're not going to feel out of breath, you're not going to feel too exhausted, you're going to feel good, you know. You don't need to sprint or run laps to lose weight. You just need to be moving your body daily and just doing some form of movements, okay? As well as, honestly, I did HIIT workouts too every once in a while, and full body workouts too, but I added in HIIT workouts to my routine at least once or twice a week. I post those HIIT workouts on my page too, but HIIT workouts are high intensity interval training, and it makes me burn a lot of fat in a shorter period of time, and I honestly enjoy it, especially if I want to just like have that adrenaline rush. And you know, because sometimes walking, it can get boring for some people, and every once in a while you want to add into your routine something that's going to make you feel like, you know, you did something, or just gonna like make you burn off all that anxiety and just the stress. And HIIT workouts are that for me. So an example of a HIIT workout, I have them on my page, but an example would be jumping jacks, high knees, and burpees. Those 3 workouts together. You're gonna do that in rounds and sets. So let's say we're doing 5 rounds, 10 sets each, that is a whole HIIT circuit. And that only takes you like 10, maybe 20 minutes, maybe not even 20 minutes. 10 minutes at max, that's all it takes you, and you just burn so many calories off doing it in that short period of time, and you'll feel great afterwards. So I always add that into my routine somehow, maybe once, twice, 3 times a week. If I'm not walking that day, I'll do some HIIT form of workout, and I love it. So the next thing I want you guys to add in is lifting weights. So when I say lifting weights, right, everybody automatically thinks I'm talking about lifting super duper heavy. Right now I work out from home because I'm a busy type of girl, and I just don't really have time to be going to the gym right now. So I work out from home. And at first I was just doing it because I didn't have time. And then suddenly I realized the results were a lot better because I was working out at home. And I realized it's because me working out from home, I was not overworking myself, and I was not really doing intensity. Because I was doing it from home, I was valuing consistency and form and over intensity. So I literally have the heaviest dumbbell I have is a 20-pound dumbbell. I have 2 20-pound dumbbells. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I don't go over that. And it's not because I don't want to get bulky. That's not why. I just personally realized that I thrive better when I'm doing medium to moderate weights, and I just up the reps, maybe, if that. So instead of 3 sets of 10, I'll do like 3 sets of 20 with my squats. Like if I'm using a 10-pound dumbbell, I'll do 3 sets of 20. Or if I'm using my 20-pound, I might do 3 sets of 20 instead. But it makes me feel like so much better, and I'm not super duper sore afterwards. I have like sensitive muscles. I have arthritis too. So personally, when I lifted super duper heavy, it was just like, I don't know, I would get sore super quick, and I was not having energy to do what I need to do throughout the day. But that's not for everybody. I'm not saying anything is wrong with lifting heavy. I'm just saying what worked best for me. So since I'm working out from home, and I don't want to invest in super duper heavy dumbbells because I know me, and I know I'm not really going to use them that often. So I like medium to moderate size weights, and I just feel like I get a lot more done. I could do more reps. I could do more different type of workouts with them because I'm not focusing on weights. I'm focusing on the form and the consistency part of it. If you're focusing on your form and your consistency, the size of the weight does not matter. How heavy the weight is does not matter. So a lot of people ask me in my videos like, oh, what size weight is that? And I always tell them what it is, but what size weight I'm using really does not matter, and because you works best for you. So if I'm doing something that's too light for you, it's okay, just do a heavier set. If I'm doing something that's too heavy for you, it's okay to just do a lighter set. You get what I'm trying to say? It's all about just form and consistency within that. It does not matter how heavy you are lifting, how light you're lifting. We're all doing the same things, okay? But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with lifting heavy or with lifting light. I'm just telling you guys how I lift and what I do. So I do full body workouts 3 to 4 times a week. Now, when I say full body workouts, so let me get a disclaimer on that. I'm not saying I'm working every single body part of mine every single day of the week, okay? I just don't. So when I say full body, I'm saying I'm working every part of my body throughout the week. You know, so Monday, if I'm doing legs, Tuesday, I'm going to do upper body and some cardio, so a HIIT workout. I'm not going to do legs again. Then Wednesday, if my legs aren't too sore, I'll do legs again. Then Thursday, I'll do a full body workout if my legs aren't. Then Thursday, I'll do what I did Tuesday, the upper body with some HIIT workout beside that. But most of the time, I'll do upper body with walking on the treadmill because my legs are still sore from doing the, the leg workout. I don't want to overwork my legs. Then Friday, I'm doing a full body workout, a HIIT workout pretty much. So that's when I can work every part of my body. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's all just, I just make sure I'm hitting every single body part throughout the week. And if I can't do it, I'm not going to be too hard on myself and tell myself that I did something wrong, because honestly speaking, I worked out that week. It's not a big deal. So I realized that it's not okay to be super duper hard on myself within the process. Just understand that as long as I'm making it a goal to hit every part of my body throughout the week, as long as I'm making it a goal to get my cardio within it and get my strength training within it, and I'm combining both in and I'm being consistent, that's all that really matters. Now, the way I do cardio, and this is just me because I say this all the time, I just feel like cardio helps me, calm down on my mind. Like, it just helps me. So I make sure that I walk on the days I'm not doing HIIT workouts. So I add in HIIT workouts 2 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, right? And then I'll walk the other days of the week. So on the days where I'm doing, let's say Monday's a leg day. That leg day, I won't do a HIIT workout. I'll walk on the treadmill after that. Then Tuesday, I'll do a HIIT workout because that's my full body workout. Then Wednesday, I'll do the same thing I did Monday. I'll do legs and I'll walk on a treadmill for about 20 to 30 minutes. It's just really easy on my body. If my legs are sore, I won't do a super heavy incline. I might do no incline, but I realized I like that better. I used to, and a lot of you probably know that when I first started this YouTube channel, actually recently, I used to do intense cardio every single day, literally, and I didn't think anything was wrong with that. And there really isn't anything wrong with that, but my body was just sore a lot and I was exhausted a lot. And then once I replaced that with just walking, I liked it a lot better because I could walk on a treadmill, listen to my music, and I'm still getting like that anxiety relief that I'm looking for without having to sweat too much and without overworking my body, because I'm just walking. That's equivalent to getting your steps in a day. So I don't consider that overdoing cardio because I'm walking instead of doing anything super intense. That's equivalent to me walking outside or walking to a bus station if I rode the bus. So that's why I like walking on the days where I'm not doing anything super duper intense. Now, the next thing I want you guys to do, and what I would do to lose 30 pounds, is stop drinking my calories. Now, I say this a lot too, but I would cut back on sodas and juices and instead replace it with water or flavored 0-calorie drinks. Now, because sodas and juices contain so much sugar in it, and it's something that like is addictive, so we'll drink one can and we're like, now I want another one, we'll drink another one. That's already like so much sugar, so it's easier for us to consume the sugar than it would be for us when we eat a piece of cake. That'll probably like fill us up more. Eating a piece of cake will fill you up more than soda, so you'll eat one piece of cake and that's still sugar, but it's not as much sugar as you would get when you're drinking a whole bunch of sodas, because you're drinking 2 sodas instead of to get full instead of 1 cake. You get what I'm trying to say, the comparison with that? So that's why I always say I would replace the sodas and juices with some type of water, even if you have to make at-home smoothies, homemade smoothies. Yes, fruit contains sugar in it, but honestly speaking, those are natural type sugars. I would much rather sugar from fruit than sugar from a juice or sugar from, you know, a soda. So if you do like crave that juice type of feel, try to get into smoothies. If you do crave that sparkling sensation, try to tap into sparkling waters, you know, flavored waters, because they could say they're carbonated drinks, but they're also water. You know what I'm saying? So the most you'll get from that is probably a little bit of bloating, but that will go away a lot faster because you're not consuming the sugar that you would be with a soda. So I always recommend those type of drinks to replace it, so that way you'll still get the feel of what you really, really like. Okay? So the next thing I want you guys to do is create a routine that you can stick to. No, not too extreme, okay? And what works for you. Consistency over intensity. When I say that, I mean, I used to think that I had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I had to do this. No, what I do now is I write out everything I have to do for the day, and I put it in with whatever time slot works for me. It does not have, honestly speaking, you don't even have to wake up at the same time every single day. I realized that's not even realistic, especially the older I got, right? That was a little bit easier for me to do when I was a teenager, when I was younger, and when I had time. But the older you get, you have a life, you have stuff going on with your life. That's just how life works. And a lot of the times it's hard for you to wake up super early. It's hard for you to fit stuff in because your schedules are always changing throughout the day. So I always say try to get it in where you can, right? Especially if you have children or something like that. If you cannot work out in the morning time, that is okay. I don't even work out in the mornings anymore. Sometimes I'll work out at night. Tonight I'm gonna work out at like 8 p.m. and that's okay. That's just what it is. I just didn't have time to do it throughout the day. So figure out what works for you and get that going. Even with a routine, it does not mean it has to be the same every single day, honestly speaking, but I always like to do the night before or the day before, set up what your next day is going to be like, so that way you know. A lot of times we kind of know what our day is going to look like the day before, and if things change, it is okay. But especially if you're working out from home, you could try to fit a workout in. I always do it like at the end of the day, maybe, if I have a lot to do throughout the day. And if you can't work out super early in the morning, or wake up super early in the morning, try to fit that workout in at the end of the day or in between, whenever you have time, really. I don't know how your schedule looks. Everybody's schedule is different, but just make a schedule and make a routine that works for you for that day. And understand that it does not have to be something where you're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, starting your day. That's not realistic. Today I woke up at like 12 p.m., honestly speaking, and that's just what it was. I'm still going to get my stuff done. I'm still going to get my meals in. That's okay. You get what I'm trying to say? It's not easy. It's not as easy as it seems waking up super duper early in the morning, and that's not for everybody. Some people work night shifts and they don't get to go to sleep until 3 o'clock in the morning. So I understand that. I'm always going to give you guys realistic ways to do things, okay? Remember, it's consistency over intensity. We're not going to do something super duper intense, like a super intense routine. If you could do that, that's all good for you. Good for you. Great for you, actually. But if you can't, that is okay. Like, you could still get a workout and you could still still live a healthy lifestyle without being a super duper early in the morning type of person or a super extreme kind of person, okay? Now, the last thing I want you guys to do is love yourself throughout it. If I was trying to lose 30 pounds, I would try to love myself throughout the process, because when you're not loving yourself throughout the process, you're more prone to, compare yourself, and then that's when you stop the journey. If you're loving yourself throughout it, you love yourself enough to know that you could do it no matter what. You could do it no matter how many setbacks come your way. You could just do it because you love yourself. You know, and you have confidence within yourself. So I know it's hard to love yourself where you are now if you're trying to like change it. I get that. But that you have to just try. You have to try to like remind yourself that you are it. You are enough, but you're just trying to live a healthier lifestyle. You're not trying to do this so you could be beautiful. You're doing this so you can be healthier. Just keep telling yourself that, You want to stop comparing yourself, like I said, and you want to just believe in yourself. You cannot see progress if you're insecure throughout it, okay? Because you're always going to stop your blessings. Literally, if you're insecure, you will forever stop your blessings. That's on anything in life, okay? So whatever you're doing in life, I want you guys to be confident within that and know that you could do it. You could make those changes. You could become the girl of your dreams. You could do it. If you can't do it, you can. If you think you can't do it, you can, okay? So it's no such thing as can't. It's no such thing as never. You could do this. Just be patient with yourself and don't compare yourself to other people, and just understand that this journey is for yourself. You're trying to be a healthier version of you. This is not for anybody else. This is for yourself, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. I hope they're helpful for you. And please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.